You're now listening to the Something Good Podcast Network. Please press any key to continue.
It's a Lego radio. Oh. All right, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Couch Potatoes.
Plus one.
Hey, yes, plus one. I am Alex
Morrison.
And we've got a special guest with us.
Cristy Phillips.
That's right. And we have been on the hunt. We have done a whole bunch of, as we've done the last couple of weeks, rather, we've been doing a bunch of running around town to... this time was kind of like an indoor flea market.
Yeah.
Kind of collectible hunting and game hunting, and brought Cristy along with us. And that was really fun because, again, part of the joy I get out of all this is, you know, being able to share the nerdum and see other people get excited about shit. So being able to bring another person along that was a fan of other things that we wouldn't even be paying attention to is a nice change of pace. So it was really cool just being able to bring you along. But, you know, Chris, what were some of the spots we checked out? Because you kind of masterminded the day on where we should go.
Well, the whole thing was come up here, grab Cristy, and just...
And where is up here?
We're in Troutman, North Carolina.
There we go.
T-Town.
the big town of Troutman.
Yeah. It's one main drag.
Yeah.
With nothing on it, but a shit ton of traffic for some goddamn reason. But
because it's the only road. But
we did go to Mooresville, which is south of here, and ran into a festival by accident, which was a fucking pain in the ass. But no, we checked out the Antiques Mall, but we went back to Crazy Cool Collectibles, of course. I spent the exact amount of money I did last time.
It's a conspiracy, man.
I'm $213 deep in that goddamn store.
No wonder his sign said, after the second time I see you, we're friends, non-negotiable. Yeah, because anyone would be my friend after giving me $200 over the course of 2 weeks.
But another big change, he's actually making a change to that place. He's going to be moving his horror stuff in the back, and he's creating an arcade in there. So that's another reason to go check it out. So,
yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Cristy tried to get me to buy a Velociraptor.
I mean, if I was in there, I would have been pressuring you as well.
Yeah. But there's a giant alien resurrection statue that is grotesque looking. That looks great. That would look great in my living room. It really brings the room together.
And speaking of crazy cool, that was the first place I started putting my hands on old Pokemon cards again. That was last week. And I was just kind of sifting through like the $1 and $2 bins, seeing if there was anything that I was even curious in, or if something kind of sparked the interest. And a week later, that's literally all I was thinking about was like, damn, there were like a few of those cards in there I should have picked up. And then Chris was like, yeah, we're going to go to Crazy Cool again. I was like, word.
But yeah, we picked up a couple more posters. We picked up 2 new ones, The Reaping.
Mm-hmm. It looked good too.
And a news article poster, which was like a faux news article poster for Return of the Living Dead with Linnea Quigley. It looks fucking hilarious.
It really does.
But it's fitting. Like, it's really well done. And I could actually outdo the border with some of the horror stuff I got, some of the extra like postcards and stuff. So
that would be cool.
It would really tie it together. Plus, it's a landscape style instead of a portrait style, so it gives me a little bit more options to put in my room, which I'm redecorating.
And it's looking good too. I finally got to see it in person for the first time, and I was like, okay. Yeah, I like that.
I'm running out of room.
It's good. Looking good.
We'll start tacky shit on the ceiling.
I mean, that's actually one of the things I want to do with mine, because at Repo, one of the record store days, they had like these boxes of records that were free, because they were like just all scratched up and dirty. And it was just like, they get it out of my store, please, box. So, of course, I'm buying one. He's like, take a box of these. I'm like, I don't want these. He's like, take a box of records. So I'm half tempted to get a big thing of thumbtacks and just thumbtack them all up on the ceiling and make like a record ceiling.
It'll be fine until you're not paying attention and one of them falls.
No, but if it's free, who gives a shit?
Hey,
Let me just replace it.
it'll be in the office.
Let me replace another piece of shit. Bam, there you go.
Yeah,
Hey, we used to have little fucking tacky stars on our ceilings as kids. It's okay to have records. This is,
there you go.
I did.
It's the glow in the dark ones, of course.
yeah. But then one day you're going to be looking up in there because you'll be bored as shit, high as hell, and be like, "Is that a Paul Anka record? I forgot all about that." And just taking it. Holy shit! There's a Barry Manilow.
Or we're in there just recording couch potatoes or a fistful of quarters.
And a polka fucking record hits me in the fucking head.
Available on YouTube. Go
Yep.
subscribe to the YouTube page and watch Fistful of Quarters. But no, I just watched See, and now we're just doing an episode. All of a sudden, it's just like you're. It's like Chris gets smacked in the head with a fucking.
God damn it! God fucking! It just starts speaking me just tornado in that fucking room, just smashing into shit.
Turns into Tasmanian devil.
Last thing you see is a fucking unboxed Jar Jar Binks coming at your fucking head. But we went there. We went to Crazy Cool Collectibles and drove like a block way down and hit the Antiques Mall, which was something we saw last time and we decided to skip on. Which I'm glad all three of us went this time because it was so massive, and we lost each other a few times. But
I mean, as we do.
each one though is just a tiny. Each booth is the tiniest collectibles, like antique stores. And what was cool is, every booth had something for everybody, just about, for all our tastes.
Yep.
There's a lot of, antique stuff, like just antique furniture, antique, just items. Signs, beer signs, collectible signs, nerd booths out the ass. And there had to be like 15 out the gate.
And as much as there was, I was surprised there wasn't more clothes. As much clothes as there were, I was surprised there wasn't more.
I think a lot of that is because, like, other than the one you went to, Cristy, the clothes are always sent to the Goodwill because they never sell.
True.
Because it's hard to get somebody to pay a decent price to cover the booth if you're selling used clothes. Like a good way to do that is the lady at the corner store in Salisbury. She's got clothes, but they're very niche clothes. And if you're not selling that kind of stuff, it's going to the Goodwill, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Let them sell it. But no, it was a great little spot. Some of the stuff I saw in there was kind of like just hand-created stuff, a lot of handcrafted stuff, which goes really well with this older stuff you want to buy. But we saw some shit in there. God damn, it was overpriced.
I was just about to say that. I was like, for every 3 booths that had like decent pricing and just like I wanted out of my house, there was that one booth that was like, gee, what were they smoking before pricing some of this shit?
Well, the way we walked into it actually the correct way.
Yeah.
Because we go to the toys first. Right when you walk in, to your right is the toy pick. And me and you first looked at quite a few things. We were just like, fuck me running, that's expensive. But like they had like Rambo toys.
Yeah.
And I remember she pointed out the heads are all the same, but the bodies are all different.
Yep.
And it just looks like a pale white man's head on like a black G.I. Joe almost. But like some of that stuff was like just ridiculous. What was it? $1,800 for a Nintendo 64 Pokemon Stadium? What the $1,800?
It was complete in box and everything. And
it better suck me the fuck off every time I play it.
Well, so here is the major disconnect between like that spot and like an actual collector spot. They had the original brick Game Boy there, the thick boy.
Yeah.
Thing was like $500 with the box and like Tetris. Not to fast forward too much in the conversation, but we wound up going to Comic Monster later on. Ray had the exact same Game Boy in there, just without the box, but like in beautiful condition, $60.
Deal.
Now that is a reasonable price. I wasn't looking for that exact system, but if I was, fucking sold. That's perfect price, and it looked great.
And that kind of carries on from conversation we had last week when we were talking about just how hard it is to find a goddamn Game Boy.
It really is insane. Like at first it was just like, okay, whatever. We didn't score this week. Oh well.
Or you're getting outbid on eBay, or whether or not you find a Game Boy and doesn't have the backing, or something's wrong with the back, something's wrong with the screen's not right. It's a fucking knockoff. There's something wrong with it. Like here's the Game Boy, but something's wrong with it. We can't exactly tell you why. And maybe you could fix it, maybe you fucking can't, and it's ridiculous.
And that's part of the reason why it's like I would like to just find one in a shop. It's like I would like to support someone actually still selling this shit, but at the same time, it's like it's nearly fucking impossible to do at these prices when you're looking at them. Like when I'm getting in the car and looking at the listing for like $45 and $50 free shipping buy now, and I'm like, well,
Yeah.
Well, this place did have a $2,100 lounge set that was
that one got Cristy good.
circa 1997
Oh.
with some cushions that looked kind of sketch.
Yeah.
It looked about
I
as
will say it looked cool.
It looked cool. It looked about as comfortable as an airplane seat.
I mean,
but like,
it did look cool, but it was not $2,100 worth of cool.
it's the $100 that really pissed me the fuck off. Like the gall of 2000, but 21. Like that's the turn of the knife, motherfucker.
It is.
It's just like that's that person who's like, oh, if they haggle, I'll be like, I'll knock off $100. That you fucking cocksucker.
Like they were $50 cool.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
If, like that's something you do if like you're selling something small. Like if I'm selling like a turquoise ring, and
Yeah.
let's say I paid $30 for it, I'm gonna sell it for $40, and if I knock it down to $35, I'm not really giving a shit.
Right.
But that's simple. That's $5 goddamn dollars. This is $2,100 fucking dollars. I could have bought us all three our own patio sets, and I'd let y'all pick.
So nice of you.
So generous.
Somebody's gonna have a tent cover. So like somebody's gonna have like a fucking
whole ass canopy.
a fucking canopy and shit, no bugs. Like, and I'd still have like $300 to call somebody with a truck to deliver it to each of our fucking houses.
You're right.
$2,100, like that's.
But
That's
it
a lot
was,
of money.
It was vintage.
I don't give a fuck if Kennedy died on the son of a bitch. Like, what the fuck? For a shit mattress that we slept on in kindergarten and a metal bench that it sits on. I liked the couple that looked at it.
Oh,
and I just
Well,
showed
they
it-
were great.
See,
they were
I
great.
was already like a booth away,
Yeah.
because I had already seen everything I wanted over there, and like something else that caught my eye, and I heard them. They were just like, "Oh my god!" And it's like, what is the commotion over there?
And I'm like, yeah, $100. That's where they fuck you. That's what I said to them. That's how they get you.
Yeah, again, if those things had been $50, it would have been tough for me to say I don't want to walk out without these. But as soon as you're like $2,100, it's just like my heart, my heart can't take this.
It was weird. It was kind of underwhelming after the toy pick because the way we went a different way than I think you're supposed to walk through that place. Because we took a hard right as soon as we went to the front door. And there wasn't much. There was that one record display, but it turns out there were 5 goddamn more all over the store.
Yeah.
But we started, like, the more we progressed, the cooler the shit got. I will say that.
Yeah.
Like, the way we walked around it in a counterclockwise circle going in and out of the booth, there was everything there could grab your eye.
And that's kind of what I liked about it, is it wasn't very like, okay, that's clothes land, this is car land, here's cards.
No, here's spiritual stuff and rocks, and then the next booth, Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
Next one, antique Coca-Cola shit.
Everywhere.
This is the fucking mind of a madman.
Yeah.
Of a hoarder. It's a hoarder's house. That's what it is. Each booth is a hoarder's house, just collectively divided perfectly.
Well, Cristy brought something up. I wasn't looking for any of it to purchase myself, but you know, when you're just walking around, you kind of mentally clock like, oh, this is the third booth I've seen Sports Illustrated magazines, that kind of stuff. I slowly started noticing, I was like, I've not seen any Coca-Cola stuff. I've seen a lot of Pepsi. I've
Or like vintage bottles of old stuff, yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper, 7-Up, Mountain Dew. No.
Mainly probably like little drinking glasses for Coke or something like that.
Yeah, but not like the signs or like any of that. And right as I was about to say something about it, this booth of just red and white. It's like every single Coca-Cola thing you could possibly imagine.
That came from a hoarder's house.
Well, I'm sitting here going, I'm like, well, no fucking shit. None of the booths have Coca-Cola. This guy probably once a month walks the booths and just buys everything up and puts it in his.
Yeah, that's exactly what the fuck it does. And it takes the tag off and retags that shit for probably $1 more. And I will say, the people that curate their stuff do a fantastic job. Their booths are clean, they're well put together, and the staff. So it seems like me, it's a consortium kind of situation where you leave your booth alone, and you're leaving the responsibility to the people that work there. So
Yeah.
like a lot of signs where if you need help, ask the antique mall staff, and they probably got a key and pops over. But I did notice a shit ton of webcams
Yes.
everywhere in every booth. Smart for
But
one.
there were so many gorillas and teddy bears that were like, I can see you.
But there's actually a lot of just like little GoPro cams just posted up, and I think that that's smart. That way, it's an unintended store that has security.
I don't blame them at all.
No, but I'm not saying that. I was just like, but it's maintained by the people that you're paying for the booth. It's kind of like when you get a storage unit, you have the idea of like, they have cameras in the parking lot, they have cameras inside, so you know my shit's safe, and I don't have to worry about some meth head cracking the fucking thing open because there's a semblance of security. That's what I liked about that place, even though we almost stole from there. Or I almost stole from there. Because we took a hard right through the front door, we missed the area where you had buggies and shit.
Yeah.
But you need one. Get one, goddamn it! Like, because you're going to be feeling that goddamn thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, what all did we buy?
I bought 3 records. I bought Rush's Moving Pictures
Oh yeah.
in great condition because I don't want to play Dad's original Rush Moving Pictures album anymore because I don't want to hurt it. The Car Wash soundtrack
Oh, yeah.
for $6 whole.
Looking at the car wash.
And it's
$6, yeah.
it's a double album too.
Really?
It's a double
I was when you said that, I thought it was like one of those like 12-inch maxi singles where it's like it had one song on one side and then like the disco I am high on cocaine remix on the other side.
Nope, it's a double album.
It's fucking awesome for $6.
Yes.
That's pretty rough. That's badass.
Unless you're not gonna find that on fucking Spotify, probably.
And I got the Nightmare Before Christmas picture disc
Oh yeah.
for $20. That was the most expensive one that I paid for, which was $20. And it was still in the plastic.
Yeah.
But see, even that's not bad. See, it's like you actually found good record deals. I was getting annoyed at some of those booths because, like, I'm a Kiss fan and I know what Kiss records are actually priced at. They had like the 2016 repress, like mint in the plastic, unopened for like $40. Directly behind it, a beat up copy from like the late 70s, early 80s for $35. And I'm like, you've got to be shitting me. No, we're not doing this GameStop bullshit where the used one is like $5 less. Like, that is a $6 record, sir. You need to reprice this.
Yeah.
I know this. I buy them a lot.
But you also found some rocks.
Yeah. I found one bag that was like a grab bag of different rocks. And then I found one really fancy, nice rock that I've never seen before.
That's the one I almost stole.
It's because it's not your fault you were nice enough to help carry stuff because there were no carts.
Well, yeah, that's what we were saying.
Well, because I pocketed everything. So what I got was a $2.50 random ass pack of Pokemon cards and a gold one that's a fan made card, which I will say the fan made card is just as valuable as probably the original. I don't give a shit.
It's probably more valuable.
To me, it's more valuable because it's a fan made product and it looks nice. It's gold.
Well, here's the thing: is I price charted all our cards because I got some cards too. I price charted all our cards. If you paid $5 for that card ungraded, everything else is the most valuable of that deck. Period.
Well, no, the single I bought.
That's what I'm saying. That fan made card, but paying $5 for that is the most valuable. Oh wait, no, outside. I forgot. I forgot about the other 2 singles you bought.
Yeah, so like I bought that and I bought. Well, that's the Mon store. That's later on. But at the antique shop, me and you both got the little value pack, which for 200 up 200 for 200
for
250 pennies. That's a fucking steal.
Yes, that is correct. For $2.50, it was a random pack of 10 cards.
Yeah, it's a goddamn steal. And what I thought was because they told us it said either it has one holographic and or a rare card.
Yeah.
And so you did the little pick and play kind of thing. And you told me like if this was a 10, it's like $50 or something, which I don't really give a shit. I'm just going to put it in a fucking like a book or something.
Right.
But yeah, $2.50 ain't shit.
No.
You know, our fucking drinks were more expensive at fucking Rice Fund. You know how many Pokemon cards I could buy with this goddamn Pepsi? You piece of shit. You know how many fucking phase drinks I could buy? But
How many crab rangoons?
Yeah, right?
How much crab rangoon I could eat for 250 pennies? You piece of shit. But like some of the stuff we like, not just like the rare like rocks and stuff like that, but it felt like going to the corner store every few steps. Mm-hmm. There was just so much niche shit. And because like, I'm willing to spend a bunch of money because I've allocated the money. But even for someone who's not going to spend a lot of money like you,
me,
there was some valuable shit that isn't going to break the bank.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like one of the things I found was one of those children's books where you put on the record and it reads it to you, but it was Star Wars Return of the Jedi.
For $5.
$5, still sealed. I'm just like, I can't pass this up.
You know how much Jar Jar Binks was? It was 3 of those.
Yeah, and then I got one of the random Pokemon packs, and it's not because I'm like the biggest Pokemon fan, but it's like it was worth the fun of $2.50 of not knowing what I was gonna get, and then cracking it open, and being like, oh, okay, now I'm gonna like check online and see if it was. If
there was a holographic Mewtwo in there, you would have like just pissed yourself.
Yes, like yes, there are outliers to these cards that I would have been excited for, but as a general rule, no, it takes a lot for me to get like genuinely excited about something Pokemon, but it was worth $2.50 for that amount of fun.
Yeah,
that was the way I looked at it.
Between that and like some of the other booths of like collectible stuff, especially Pokemon, guys, this is something we did when we was kids. Yeah. But now we're adults and we could just do whatever the fuck we want.
We don't have to go, Mom, please, can I have $5 for this pack?
We're literally recording a conversation we would have had when we were 10 eating candy. Yeah. Okay, like it's fucking Halloween night all over again. Okay, that's if we had met 3 fucking decades ago. Like, this is like, Alex, stop eating the fucking Butterfingers and stop touching the Pokemon cards, you nasty fuck.
Wash your hands first, goddamn.
Cristy, he didn't steal your goddamn Drowsy. Okay,
I have my own. It's a common.
No, that one's mine. It's got a holographic on it, and it's like this one's in Jap.
And I'm over here actually in the corner being like, so here's my red Game Boy. This one's my silver Game Boy. I just got this blue Game Boy.
Your mom yelling in the back, I found the back in the goddamn laundry again.
It was dirty.
But what was cool is like, so there was that one area where we got the little $2.50 ones, and like later on through the day, I will say we spent some fucking time in that place. That's another thing. You mark out half your fucking day when you go there. Just take your time, really narrow down.
Like we really were not expecting what we got ourselves into. Like I was going into it thinking this was going to be like a 30-40 minute stop. When I walked in, I was like, oh no, part of me doubts if we're actually going to go anywhere else.
And like 2 hours later, we're like, "Hey, everybody good?" Like,
that's why I even checked with y'all. I'm like, "Look, I get it. We spent a lot of time here. If we're tired, like, I'm cool. I'm not going to be a bitch about this and be like, we didn't go to that. This was a cool spot, y'all.
This is a visit second and third time spot.
Yeah, I was like, look, I'm okay if y'all are tired.
But like some of the stuff they had, like if you're not even if you're like Pokemon or like nerd centric stuff. Just add memorabilia out the ass, like beer signs, beer steins, beer draft pools and shit like that.
If you're a fan of like those Matchbox cars,
4 or 5 fucking booths of nothing but Matchbox cars.
Holy crap!
And then the one that was nothing but NASCAR Matchbox cars,
specifically.
Yes.
And I will say, there is, if you walk around in a counterclockwise and work your way down to the center. When you start making your way closer to the checkout, that's when you're getting that whiff of the old antiques, where you start seeing like Nazi memorabilia, next to like the Rebel Yell memorabilia, and I'm just like, there it is. I knew it was here somewhere. God damn it! I knew there was someone selling Nazi shit somewhere in one of these fucking booths. But I will say, it was the one in a million. Like it was the one booth near the exit. You see your Disney bullshit and your fucking knick-knack Pokemons?
See, this is the kind of thought process I go through. Like, okay, you would see that kind of shit all the time in the late 90s, early 2000s, like those outdoor flea market things. Mm-hmm. But you know what? You're probably talking to old Jim, and you're like, hey, man, you know what? Let me grab one of them. Easy peasy, you're done. This setup, as Chris mentioned, you have to go get someone.
It was in
For
a glass case.
Yes, to open up glass cases. It was in that. Do you walk up to the little old lady, the sweet, sweet old lady behind the counter and be like, yeah, could you come down to booth...
666.
And unlock this glass case so I can have this whole sleeve of Adolf Hitler stamps.
Yeah. It's just, I can see just the slow thing. Be like, yeah, just down to booth B54. Oh, okay, yeah, 414.
I'm not asking her. I'm asking the.
I'll just point it out when I get down there.
I'm asking the androgynous chick with tattoos and a crew cut. I'm asking her, hey, you lady. Give me my Nazi shit. And I want that stupid gas station knife, too. The shitty one that you can't open letters with. Because that's what it was there. Like, it was. This was like gas station knives and fucking Nazi stamps.
and camouflage wallets.
Yeah. It was
with
definitely
chains.
It was definitely a sight to behold.
But another big part of it, what I really liked was like the handcrafted stuff. So there was a couple metal work booths that some guy had put up where you could tell what he made.
One was very janky.
Yeah, so there was a kiss sign that looked like a high schooler made it.
That was blind.
Yeah, but an effort was made.
Yes, on other ones.
Yeah.
On other ones, they looked
the
really
AC/DC
good.
one was fucking crisp.
The AC/DC one looked great.
Yeah, but like there
props for props too.
There was one item I thought was fair priced, and it was a Sasquatch that would look great in Alex's apartment.
It wouldn't like hit the ceiling or anything.
It tied the room together.
The thing is, like, and dead honestly, I don't think it would even like height wise fit even in this place.
Nope.
It'd be close. We'd have to get like a tape measure just to be sure. If not, it'd be a kick-ass lawn ornament.
How much was it? Like $3,000 or some shit?
It was $1,800.
Yeah.
It was cheaper than a fucking bench. What the fuck?
It was cheaper.
I kind of want to go in there and just like slash that motherfucker and be like, is it still $2,100, you piece of shit? But like another thing that was in there was like super old furniture.
Yes.
That you could tell was at an estate sale. Somebody probably wholesale bought it. And one was a Schiffer robe, which is a old school piece of furniture. It's a 3-part cabinet piece and it's a display piece. For a manor, okay, not a house. If you have this in your house, you're an asshole.
Yeah, it was massive.
It was massive of wood and glass, and it wasn't cheap fucking wood either. I actually walked up to it, and I'm pretty sure it's all made of fucking mahogany, which if you don't know, is heavy as shit, dense as fuck, and burns real fucking hot. You know this if you go to Brad Smith's house at the Rim, because that's all they burn is mahogany. Because they get it from a guitar place.
The thing that made me go is like, oh, I just wish I had fuck you money. Is they had like this leather bound like living room bar with like a
beautiful.
gold top, like $400, and I'm like, that's reasonable.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was well built. That's the thing.
Yes, it wasn't some janky cheap something. That's why I was like, 400 is actually. I was expecting to see like $2,000 on this. 400. This is. And I like look at Chris. I was like, Chris, I have a proposition for you. If you need some yard work done, if you need anything done, but I'll work this off. Yeah. And then you were like, lift it. And I kind of looked at the car. I was like, yep, never mind. Fuck this. This is well made.
This motherfucker's well made and not going to fit the car. No. I can strap a bed to my car and drive that motherfucker 70 miles down the road. Like, I cannot fit this. I'm not testing that with some fucking straps.
Yeah.
While we're going town to town. But another thing we saw was that couch, that leather couch.
That thing was slick. That looked like it was going to be in a dentist's office.
Yeah, that thing was fancy as fuck. It looked like a Don Draper couch, the fucking with the little pinholes in it.
It was literally in the booth right next to where you were looking at all the clothes.
Yeah, the one booth was closed.
Yeah, the one booth
where I stayed forever.
Yeah, but like even with that, you had the oddities, which was more of like the spiritual stuff. There were like 3 or 4 booths of that. 15 goddamn fucking matchbook fucking car ones.
Yeah.
Yes.
But every once in a while, what I thought was neat was you'd have like one with like some old furniture in it, and then you had one with like some old like glasses and stuff. But there was always like a Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
Just randomly.
Yeah, in every booth. And every booth had like one little random
like that
Star
one,
Wars
they had one that
thing.
had a glass, like drinking glasses in a case.
Yep.
And there was a C-3PO pop-up Star Wars book in there for some goddamn reason. What the fuck?
You could almost guarantee every booth had either something Star Wars, something Pokemon, or something beer related.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Yep.
So that like the signs themselves were just fantastic.
Oh,
If you're-
yeah.
it reminded me of kind of like American Pickers when they go to like an old dude's house and there's like a old oil sign or something. But they had like the Camel cigarette signs. The one I really wanted was a Red Dog sign, but they're very hard to find because it's no longer. They stopped selling Red Dog a long time ago. But or that, or like a Miller High Life with a lady on it. I found one. It was a small
saw
one.
that one, yeah.
But like I wanted a big one. When you see at like Amos's South End,
Yes.
the one that was in the bathroom. If you look straight up, I wanted one that like that. The
Yeah.
lady on the moon. But even with you're looking for certain stuff, you would compromise and get one of these other ones because they
yeah.
it looks fantastic. It's not fucked up and it's fair priced. Those are the three things you'd be looking for if you can't find what you want. So I recommend it highly.
Yeah, I was really blown away by that spot just in general. I was just like, yeah, this.
And they were rocking out the whole time. Like
Oh,
the
yeah.
music playing through that store was really thumping. Like
It was.
That warehouse, that mill.
Yeah.
But I just find it so funny that, like the other week when we were talking about it on the show, drove past it. We looked out and was just like, that reminds me of like the music venue area kind of in Charlotte. And you were like, yeah, that's kind of new. They have, I hadn't really been in there before. I was just like,
because they redid it the same way they did Tuckasegee Avenue.
Yeah. But anyone else is like, okay, cool, whatever. And we just kind of moved past it. And then I found that toy shop and he was just like, oh, that's actually in that antique mall. I was like, okay, yeah, well, let's just pop in there and see what they got. It's just like,
Now,
3 hours later.
yeah.
I'm so tired. I'm so tired. My drink's warm. My gas station hot dogs are hot.
that fucked me up. I was so annoyed by that. You played it smart. We stopped at the gas station and you put your drinks like almost like underneath like the seat. I wasn't thinking at all. I'll just place mine like on the seat and the passenger in the back, get back in the car from like that antique spot. And it's just like, I grabbed that soda. I'm just like, 80 degrees. Love it.
The ingredients are cooking and separating. You got to give it a good whap, shake it just to make sure it's still good.
and then you get no fizz.
Yeah, then you get no fizz. It's just it cooked until it was stale. But no, we went from there and made our way toward Salisbury and checked out the Comic Mon store again.
Yes.
Another fantastic
First time
spot.
I was actually in there.
Yeah, it's a fantastic spot. And you know what's cool? Everything I felt was fair price, the best that he would do.
Yep.
So I didn't feel like haggling with him, but I didn't feel like I had to.
Right.
That was another thing too. So like we picked up a few things from there. Great place for toys. Like holy shit, he's got he's got probably the second best toy collection I've ever fucking seen.
See that going to his shop sparked back up into me the whole. So after I complete this Game Boy Pocket trek, I want to get back into my toy stuff because I was enthralled by that back room. I was just like, all those Marvel and Spider-Man figures.
Yeah, all of us were back there making life decisions.
Yes.
What was the number one thing we were saying the whole time? Oh, I used to have this.
Yes.
I used to have this. I used to have this.
I had one of these, but it was a different color.
That was the thing we were saying all day, and it hurt so much because we were looking at the prices on some of this, and it was just like, this is fair and reasonable, but I used to have this. You mean to tell me it's worth $60 now? Fuck.
Well, like during the week, I was looking through Instagram Reels or whatever, and one of it was just like, man, I used to have that. What happened to it? It's just like a video of the kid, like Christmas, ripping open the box. Man, that box looked cool as hell. I don't give a shit. Give me the meat. And it's like just ripping the fuck out of it, like some goddamn monster.
Well, one of the things that Ray had at Monstore as well that none of the other shops did is he had some first and second run Pokemon cards still in the packs.
Yes.
And he was saying that they were going for like what, $50? Like how much?
$200.
$200 a pop. And
Still in the pack.
yes, and that is the part that like really reinstated me. I'm like, damn, I am so annoyed with myself because I don't know where all my cards went. I was set up early on to be that kid. I saved the packaging. 9 times out of 10, if I opened up a pack of cards, I saved the foil outside because it had a cool graphic on it. I thought it looked cool, so it looked good in my sleeve. Those packs, even just the empty foil now, go for stupid money. And I'm just like, you've got to be shitting me.
I will say, if they are on the up and up, $200 for a first edition, right? Pack. And based on like some of the stuff you showed me for like pictures.
Yeah.
$800 you buy 4 packs. The odds of getting a holographic out of pack into a sleeve, sent out and graded, covers the price. Like 4 or 5 of those cards would cover the price of the $800. That's a goddamn fact.
You're right.
And that's why people are buying them.
Yeah.
That's where $200 is. I think it's fair because how many cards do you get in a pack? You get 10. It's always 10. And if you buy one for $200, you're going to make $400 or $500 because as soon as you crack it open, you put it in a fucking sleeve and send it off to get graded.
Yep.
Send it in a bundle if they offer that kind of thing. They're coming back at least $1,000. So like, at least if you got 10
Why do you
cards,
think Logan Paul was doing all this shit?
he got sent a bunch of fake shit?
I know that was hilarious.
Oh God, I wanted him to have a stroke and die. Dang! Fuck him. His brother's about to be murdered by fucking Mike Tyson.
But at the Mon store, I had to pick up this awesome Toy Biz 1996 Green Goblin action
Marvel's
figure.
Multiverse. Or
Yes.
Marvel's, was it Multiverse?
Ultimates or something. No.
Yeah, it was something MM. It was alliteration.
Yeah,
but it looked cool as fuck.
I've got it. I wrote it down because I wanted to remember it so I could actually pick up others.
Yeah, it was a Marvel Multiverse, I think. But no, they had like Peter Parker, a Fisk.
Oh, actually, no. It's just called Marvel Universe.
Marvel Universe, yeah, because they had like a Wilson Fisk, Parker with a camera and stuff like that. Oh, speaking of old electronics at that fucking antique mall, the cameras, the old cameras they had. Like the old Nikons and
They were
shit.
gorgeous.
Oh, God. They were. The Minolta, the old Comica Minolta ones, fucking fantastic. Still in pretty good condition.
Yeah.
And because they kind of like mixed bagged them a little bit with some other like newer like LCD cameras and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is okay. But not some like old Polaroids and stuff like that. Cool as fuck to see.
That's also one of those things where it's like, I'd like to just get a shelf and just put all the cool looking cameras up there. It doesn't matter if they take photos or not. I don't care.
Oh, a lot of haunted shit.
The second most said thing all day
At the antique place.
At the antique place,
It's
was
haunted.
every like 5 items. Chris would be like, "You want a haunted boot? You want a haunted belt?
You want a haunted doll?
Yeah, it's just like, how do you
And
know?
that's what started it. There was an actual haunted doll.
Yes, the actual haunted doll started it, but it was just always like, how do you know it's haunted, Chris? You'd be like, it probably belonged to a dead person. A dead person touched this.
Well, the typewriter alone freaked me the fuck out because it was just like, and it, like you could hear the rust coming off that motherfucker, and it's just like if I typed in the dead man's name, he would have ascended out. And be like, you're allowed 3 curses on your enemy. You know, it's like hell yeah,
Hell yeah, yeah, I like this one.
We call this in.
Alex only has 1 shoe for the rest of his life. Just a shitty curse, you know, it's a shitty, inconvenient one. Like he always forgets one thing when he has to go somewhere.
Well, I think so. I was already put that one on me.
Yeah,
God damn.
just but the antique place is fantastic. We are going back. We need to take some more video. Just like that.
I meant to take video. I brought all my video stuff with me today, but
What
I
sucked
just
was
never
like
did.
there was that one suitcase that looked really cool, but it was locked.
You couldn't get it open.
Well, who the fuck sells a locked suitcase? What kind of asshole does that? Probably the same cocksucker that sells a $2,100 beach bench.
It was right next to it.
Yep, it was.
That's where the $2,100 is. It's inside that goddamn suitcase. You crack that bitch open, you can have it.
It's probably DB Cooper's suitcase.
Yeah, it's filled with old cash.
Imagine it's
condoms.
Like, it's like I remember when we picked it up, it felt like there was like one thing rattling in it. Imagine if it was like a $2,000 Visa gift card.
Whatever that, it would just be raw cash from back in the day. Just
Well,
old
no,
money.
it was like rattling around, so it was
Yeah.
like empty aside from like this one little thing in there. But yeah, you
It
open
was
it,
a
up.
Charizard in a fucking sleeve. First edition. Which is like $400 or $500.
Like a gold doubloon.
Still wouldn't cover the price of the chairs.
Still wouldn't cover the. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. You many Pokemon cards I got to sell to get this goddamn thing?
All of them.
I got to sell 2,100 of them.
I have to be buying these packs, going to the car and flipping them on eBay right here, right now.
Jigglypuffs that cost.
But yeah, at Monstore, he's probably about to get a lot of my money when it comes to action figures.
And he's not
That's
super far away
dangerous.
either. No. But the last one we tailed end off was R&B Games here in Statesville. Not far actually. It's a neat selection. It's very Magic the Gathering and comic heavy.
Yeah.
But it also like D&D supply and stuff like that. And if you're into card collecting, they have all the supplies there for a reasonably priced too.
Yeah.
Card sleeves, binders, and card pages and stuff. But they also have some cards under the behind the glass that are still retaining value and stuff like that. And they had a tiny little free thing you could get.
That was the thing too. Is I knew this was probably going to be like our last stop, and I'm just like, between Crazy Cool and the antique shop, I've picked up like 20 cards now, which I was also proud of myself. I had got like 20 cards for like less than $10.
That's
a
deal.
Fuck yes. So I was just like, okay. We were walking in that card shop. I was like, I might as well start getting some protectors. It's just like they didn't have the protectors I wanted. Yeah. So it's just like still walked away with the box. That way they're not just rattling around everywhere, sitting in a fucking Ziploc bag. But so I'm like, okay, fuck. I've officially crossed into that level of the nerdum. I have a fucking box to put the cards in. God damn it.
If that's what you consider extreme nerdum, you would not like the other people that go to that place. With
but
like
I'm just
box
saying,
with the boxes in it.
Well, it's just, again, it's like my Pokemon fandom and nerdum ends with like, the original games, or like the Game Boy games, because I had those as a kid and they have big nostalgia for me. I didn't care much for the anime. I watched the movie. It was fun, but it's like I never like hardcore had to watch the show. Wasn't like hardcore into the cards. I never played the game itself. So for the fact that I've even gone this far, I'm looking at it going, what am I doing? I didn't even like it this much, and I've already found this many things I wanted to buy, and now I have to get a case for them. That's why I'm just like, that's where I'm looking into I've crossed into that nerdum. I'm like, damn it.
But no, we had a pretty good run for all throughout.
Oh yeah,
for the day. Yeah,
definitely. I'm happy with my cards and my Green Goblin, and that's all I get, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
The last thing I bought was...
Oh, and the record.
Yeah. I did two mystery packs of comics from R&B Games, which was a steal because you get two large packs of comics for $20.
Yeah.
I got a redo comic for Infinity War.
A reprint,
yeah. But yeah, I walked away with that. It was probably like $30.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all in all, I think...
Definitely curious what's in that comic pack.
Yes. We'll crack that open tonight.
I enjoyed my artisan candles.
Yes, the one that Chris said smelled like bad weed.
Because it fucking does.
But it had rocks in it.
That's cool.
So when it melts, I can have all the rocks.
Another thing we did, we stopped off at a person who listens to the show, Owen Wood.
Yes. Shout out Owen.
Yes.
Who makes their own jewelry, has made their first sale online and made quite a big sale with Cristy here.
Yep.
Yes. Loving the setup. It looks like really awesome stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Some absolutely beautiful earrings.
Yeah. And they're just expanding. So
excellent.
if you find them on Facebook. You can find them through my friends list if you want. We'll figure it out.
Definitely. No, it's definitely been fun, and hopefully by the time we record again, I did place an order online. I've got a silver Game Boy coming in the mail, so.
I did
but at this point now, I am out of my Pokemon money.
I did
my Pokemon Soul Silver money when I sold it online. I'm out of my Soul Silver money. I got to start flipping some more shit so I can buy some more shit.
Yeah. I did like how we told Ray my idea for a show, and he kind of liked it. Hell yeah.
I know. Yeah. He was just because I love Ray because he comes from that place of like kind of where we are. We like to collect. We love this stuff, but we don't always like collectors. You know, we like the stuff.
It's the community problem.
Yeah, it's like we were talking about this on the show the other week. I'm a huge Kiss fan. I hate other Kiss fans. I do not like them. I don't like it. I love the Misfits. I don't like other Misfits fans for the most part. The obsessive fans are horrible. The Danzig fanboys are fucking nuts.
They're almost as bad as Rush fans. Rush is okay. They're almost as good as Yes, but like they're okay. Prog rock. Ugh.
Duck.
I get it. You're the subtle art of selfishness. I get it.
But yeah, so I feel that he also comes from that where it's like he maybe started hardcore and like I want to be, but I know the nerds he probably has to see, and it's the same ones that every shop sees, and it's just like working retail, any retail spot, it probably sucks the fun out of the thing a little bit.
And I know you guys aren't into it, but like out of every place we've gone to, either this weekend, last week, or even in the future, he has something that me and him would nerd the fuck out on, and me and him would sit there and talk like we were at the antique place. It's fucking Star Trek.
Yep.
I fucking love Star Trek. No one I know loves Star Trek other than Owen's dad. But he had the shit. Like, he had the stuff. And I'm just like, if I was into it that much, fuck yeah, I'd buy some of that Star Trek shit. Fuck that stuff.
They had some Star Trek VHSs at the antique mall.
They did. They had, but Ray's got the fucking Enterprise and shit.
Yeah.
But he's also got Luke in Dagobah.
With the X-Wing.
At the X-Wing. I remember we were in that one corner. I'm just like, hey, Alex, wouldn't it be cool if we mixed vinegar and baking soda and some red dye and did Mustafar and see how well they'd handle a shotgun? And like the two guys over here, there's literally two guys over here nerding out over some Star Wars shit. I'm like, I hope you fucking heard me. I hope you did. Because that's what I would do if I had fuck you money. I would buy this shit, put it on YouTube, and shoot it with a fucking shotgun I bought and have more fucking respect for than this piece of goddamn plastic.
And of course, Ray's loving the idea.
Ray's like, fuck yeah.
Well, Ray just loves the idea because he's just like, as long as you buy it from me, I don't care.
And he's like, I'd watch that video. He's like, you get a lot of response. I'm like, I get a lot of fucking death threats. That's what I would do.
I love that. I love that reaction. He's like, yeah, that would get a lot of response.
Very subtle. And that's Ray.
Yes.
Subtlety.
But yeah, just very scholarly too. He's just like, that would get a lot of reaction.
It's a hell of a pull, man.
But yeah, so this will definitely be an ongoing for us, kind of chit-chatting about our nerd collecting, especially because we're able to find such inexpensive deals, and, you know, we're not mad money, you know, big ballers over here, so it's not like, well, this week I dropped $200 on this Nintendo 64 line grain system. You know, none of that's going to be happening, so don't expect anything crazy until we run across something cheap that's actually valuable, and then we can flip it, and then we really start this train rolling.
No, unless I actually, the next time we go back, that Assassin's Creed jacket's still there.
Yeah.
I told you should have gotten that.
Well, like I said, if it's there when I go back, it's meant to
I'm
be.
going to message Ray and be like, hold on to that. That way it's still there by the time you get there again.
It was so amazing. It really was.
Well, there really wasn't much news to talk about. Fantastic Four, every couple weeks they release some new casting news, and we've gotten confirmation that Galactus is going to be in the movie, so that's going to be really fun. So, but not that much on the news front. So I'll tell you what, folks, how about we just move on over to our main topic? Because guess what?
Batman.
I was born in the darkness.
What a stupid fucking voice.
All right, we're going to be talking about the Batman.
I thought we were talking about rice. My bad. I wasn't paying attention.
That was the between show.
Is this our 1.5 hour discussion about how to properly cook rice?
Yes.
You put it in the rice cooker and turn it on.
Yes.
Measure with finger. Finger.
And wash it.
You wash it.
First you get the water. Yes, we're going to be talking about the Dark Knight Returns. Rises Returns, whatever.
Yes.
There's just so many fucking Dark Knights, Rises, Returns.
Well, there's Batman,
Begins.
The Return of Batman, Batman Forever.
Batman Begins.
Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises.
Batman Forever.
Batman.
Batman Robin, which was fantastic.
Batman v Superman.
He murders people.
But we're going to be talking about that in Bane. I can already tell fucking Chris hates that voice.
What a fucking... That's a director's choice. I know it is.
Okay, let's go ahead and get that conversation out of the way. Why do you not like that?
It's fucking dumb. He could have had an accent like the real Bane.
Like, this is much better.
It's not. But they could have changed that too.
And like, this is much better.
I would take a schizophrenic voice over a proper Englishman with a muff on his goddamn mouth. Jesus.
But that's kind of what I'm getting at. It's like, you know, it's Batman movie. It's like,
It's Batman.
It's Batman.
I mean, they could have just let him talk like he normally does anyway.
Yeah. But like a thing about
you like Tom Hardy. I don't want to hear it.
But Tom,
you just want pure Tom Hardy. You're like, don't replace my man's voice.
the problem
He was fine.
But like the problem with his voice kind of doesn't make sense because he's from a foreign land who speaks like an Englishman behind a microphone.
I'm sorry. Is an Englishman not foreign?
He's not English.
No, he's not.
Bane is not English. He's literally from Michael Caine's description of the prison under fucking ground that he somehow knows about, just didn't tell Batman about.
Whoops.
There's a prison where we send the biggest pieces of shit. And you know why I know that? Because that's where I fucking put them. And none of them are fucking English. They're Russian mostly, because when we meet them, they have Russian fucking accents, or they have Pakistani accents, or hardcore Arab accents. All them motherfuckers in that hole are not English.
What about the people on the plane from the opening scene?
That's not what I'm talking about. They're not from the same place Bane's from, so yeah, they could speak English all fucking day. They're all Ra's al Ghul's guys. Let's just say that. They're all fucking ninjas. Yeah. Like, that's the whole point of the game. Suicidal fucking ninjas. Because that's what I thought was weird. Is like, they destroyed this fucking beautiful jet. Practical as fuck. Smart as hell. Because Christopher Nolan's like, hey, I need a plane. You remember that truck I destroyed, like Michael Bay? I need a goddamn plane. They're like, sure. Cash it out. Like, it's just, we got a plane. We got a plane. Sure. Came from Epstein Island, but we got a plane. We got it from Harvey Weinstein. But no, like, the opening scene is probably another great villain setup, which we talked about the last time, of the setup for Bane taking over a plane and getting a hostage, basically, someone who was going to be used by the government or a government to kind of the threat of building a nuclear weapon. Yeah. And what was cool about that was he knew so much that he could just build one from scratch. Mm-hmm. And it was Dr. Pavel. That was his name. Yeah. Guy's a fantastic actor. He's a character actor. You see him in a lot of other stuff. But with him, we needed to kill off anybody who had him already. Mm-hmm. But how do you kidnap this guy from the government? You destroy the whole fucking plane they're riding. It was fucking elaborate as shit, though. Yeah. Because he leaves one of his guys behind to throw the government off as to what happened, which I thought was fucking cool. Mm-hmm. That was the plan, to leave one of their guys behind.
They're going to expect one of us in the wreckage.
Yeah, with his stupid voice. I'll leave it at that.
I have a feeling that's going to be my job this entire
thing. But another problem,
half-ass quoting Bane in that voice.
Another one is that, we're coming off, what I believe it was like 5 years since Two-Face died, Harvey Dent.
Harvey Dent.
But it was Remember Harvey Dent. And it was at Bruce's manor, his mansion.
Mm-hmm. I remember Harvey Dent.
Yeah. And it was to make him look like this white knight who died defending Gotham.
It was because at the end of Dark Knight is when Batman was just like, hey, give me the blame. Make me the bad guys. Gotham needs a true hero with a face. That can be you. That can be Harvey. Mm-hmm. Make me the bad guy.
Yeah. And, we get the big speech at the beginning with Gary Oldman, who you could tell he's tired of lying. And it's really bothering the fucking piss out of him.
It's even got that little note he's written out.
Yeah. But we're introduced to a couple new characters. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, great addition. Anne Hathaway's, great addition. What I love about this, it was because of Key and Peele. Did you see Batman's? Did you see Anne Hathaway's in the Batman's? That was my shit! And that whole fucking skit is the hype for the Batman trilogy. And I'm just like, did you see what my boy Gary Oldman does? Did you see what my boy Gary Oldman does? That's my shit! But the way he said, because I said it by accident, Anne Hathaway's. It's Anne Hathaway's. Did you see Anne Hathaway's?
That's my shit.
But like she the way she's introduced is very unassuming. You do not see it coming. Because she kind of is like, oh, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, she was posing as a handmaiden at the ball.
Yeah. She was serving drinks, and she's makes her way up, and all we know is Bruce Wayne is now a recluse. He doesn't do anything.
He's not been seen in public even.
And this bitch steals his mom's jewelry, and slowly, and like she's doing this thing where she walks side to side, and what she's doing, she's corralling him, and he figures it out, and she kicks the cane out from under him, and he pretends to be, oh no, bam, hits the ground, and she just hops out the window, even though Batman at any moment could have cracked her across the fucking face and just kicked her to death, and Michael Caine could have been like, oh, I'm sorry, I left the trash in the house. I'm sorry.
So you said something there, and I rewatched these movies recently. Something I noticed in that scene that made me go, Wait a minute. And you said it, and you kind of said it without even like skipping a beat. What was she in there stealing again?
The pearls of his mom.
I'm sorry. In every fucking depiction of the death that I've seen, the bitch's pearls get ripped off her fucking neck. Either by the gun going like, you know, by the recoil, or by Joe like grabbing it and like yanking it. How the fuck does Bruce have an intact set of pearls from his mother?
Probably just asked for him back and restrung him.
Yeah.
Ask for him back. He's a fucking kid. Mom died. Mom
I'm pretty
and Dad
sure
died.
the
Can
richest
you get
couple-
her pearls for me, please?
I'm pretty sure the richest couple who were robbed in an alley, the cops were kind enough to put all that shit in a bag.
Can I have her pearls, please? I don't see Bruce saying that.
He
Probably
doesn't
just
say it
gave
like
him
that.
all of it.
He probably doesn't say it like that. He probably gave it to Michael Caine, who's like, give me their goddamn jewelry, and he's got a cop by the neck, or I'll crack his fucking skull open.
Actually, it's probably just like, those belong to me.
Those belong to the Wayne family. If you want your intestines still in your fucking body, you'll give them back to the Wayne family. My name's Alfred. I was a cop too in L.A. during the 92 riots. I killed 4 people.
Alfred fucking Pennyworth.
Yeah. I was in Vietnam, you piece of shit.
Flicks his toothpick.
I was in Korea.
Come on, Master Wayne.
That would be a funny conversation, was just Alfred being like, I was in Vietnam. He's like, how old are you? Are you old enough to fight in Vietnam? I was in Vietnam during the Second War, the Secret War. I fought in Korea. I fought Nazis in Korea. What the fuck did you do?
Everything.
I'm Alfred fucking Pennyworth. You piece of
Get wise.
shit. Ask your boy Gordon who the fuck I am. Yeah, he will murder you. Like, I've seen him do it with the toothpick.
Gordon just like flips down the newspaper. He will do it.
Alfred Pennyworth is the John Wick of the DC universe.
Yes. Hell yes.
That fucking man killed that woman with a pencil.
Pencil.
A pencil, yeah.
What's that from? That hit me with a random memory. It was just a pencil.
Oh, that's the guy from the Russian. That's the Russian saying it in the first movie, John Wick.
Oh, okay.
A pencil, because he insinuates because he's from Eastern Europe.
Okay.
A fucking pencil. And he says it like that. But what he does is it's that dumbass kid from fucking Game of Thrones. He does that fucking motion where he's like, this is how he did it, because I saw it, and it's just that kid's like, Jesus Christ.
Actually, I remembered what it was. The boggle competition from King of the Hill.
Oh,
when Peggy
yeah.
broke it. She's down to one pencil. That's what it rung in my head. Is that she's down to one pencil.
How she continue with what pencil?
Oh, we're horrible. Christy's sitting here being like, I thought we were going to talk about Batman. Now we're talking about this scene in fucking King of the Hill.
That's
No,
how
I
it
know
goes.
how this goes.
That's how it goes. Yeah. All over the goddamn place. Kind of like this movie.
Yeah, and we've only talked about like the first 5 minutes of the fucking movie.
Yeah, 15 minutes in, we're just like, did you watch King of the Hill? Or John Wick? I'm pretty sure Alfred's John Wick. I will say this. I saw a fan theory about Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze movies, that Patrick Swayze, the story is that his character is the main character from Dirty Dancing, who got tired of dealing with rich people and started working in bars and Roadhouse. It said, fuck working for bars, and started stealing shit in Point Break. And that's the story of Patrick Swayze's one character in all those movies. Is actually a trilogy.
Damn it.
And Keanu Reeves is the rich kid he kicked the shit out of in Dirty Dancing.
Makes sense.
And then Johnny Utah went on to be like in the Matrix.
He went on to be in the Matrix.
Yeah, Johnny Utah. Everybody forgets that's his name. The coolest fucking name of the movie is Johnny Utah.
But this movie is interesting because it had to deal with a lot. I enjoyed this one, and it was funny because for the longest time, I kind of liked this one the best out of the three. It was kind of my favorite, and for the longest time, I don't know why, but anytime I rewatch these, I always watch Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises. Mm-hmm. I never watched Begins for some reason. It just felt like I had a good enough grasp of Begins, but I want to watch these too.
Yeah, it feels like this movie kind of annihilated the first movie.
Yeah. So, but on this recent rewatch, I was like, you know what? It's been a long enough time. I want to watch all three now. It reaffirmed why this movie is my favorite. Because it's like you had Begins, which was this amazing Ra's al Ghul and, Scarecrow story. Then you take a complete 90-degree turn and run down the Joker trail for a minute. That's almost its own self-contained movie.
It is. That one's my favorite.
Then we go back to this one. This feels like a sequel to the first movie. And I think that's why I really enjoy this one, because I get so much enjoyment out of Begins and the Ra's al Ghul story and, the training and all that, to see so much of that come back to bite him in the ass in this movie. It's almost kind of that satisfying, almost like when you see the villain get their comeuppance. It's like, oh, this is kind of satisfying seeing Batman get his shit kicked in because he didn't finish the fucking job.
Yeah, so the first movie is always, I'm going to try it out and I'm going to learn from my mistakes. The second movie is I got a villain that's pushing my buttons, who's pushing me to my limits, and I figured out how to stop it, but I've made some bad decisions to do that, and so I need to take a step away. By the third movie, it's like that was a huger mistake to step away, and now not only is Batman the problem, Bruce Wayne has to take the fucking hit, because this movie is a lot more elaborate than Dark Knight. This one is an attack on Bruce Wayne.
And the company.
And not just that, but it's also forcing him out. Because that was the whole point of getting all these motherfuckers. It wasn't just to destroy Gotham with the elaborate nuclear weapon. It was, we need Batman out in the open. Let me find this motherfucker, because once I find him, I'm going to do what Ra's al Ghul couldn't do. Break his back and force him to watch his city burn.
Yep. Crush it from the inside out.
This is my job. And the fact that Christopher Nolan pulled from one of the most crazy fucking Batman comics with Bane, who is a second or even, I believe, a third gen villain, is amazing.
He kind of came out in that same era as Venom, I believe, kind of that late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, so this villain is born in a prison. In the comics, he's born in a prison because he's serving the sentence of his father, which is a real thing in North Korea, a generational prison system. If you commit a crime and I sentence you to
I am from North Korea.
It probably is. Shay Shay. Oh, you don't understand Korean, you racist bitch? Oh, wait, you're not Robert Pattinson. You're not a racist. Robert Pattinson Batman may be a racist. But with this one, he's serving a crime he never committed.
Yeah.
And that's what, and he's horribly mutilated because he's a child in that prison. So he learns he basically learns torment the same way Batman did, but he's lived on the criminal side of it. He has no parents. He's been left alone. He's got one mentor in that prison who's teaching him just how to stay alive. And he became the most dangerous thing in that prison. And then Ra's al Ghul found him and shaped him into something more unified. And that's what made him dangerous. And I love that it's Ra's al Ghul.
And that was the story we got for the first 2/3 of the movie.
Yeah. And that's what I like about the way Nolan did it was, Bane isn't just some criminal who wants to hurt the Batman. No. Batman killed the man that saved him from that prison, because we see him rappel down in a flashback and protect this child and take him out. Because the thing about Ra's al Ghul does is kill criminals. Period. There is no other DC characters we'll just put him in a prison. It's like, no, we're gonna fucking cut his head off.
Yeah,
because that's what Ra's al Ghul would have done with the Joker. He would have shot that motherfucker straight in the goddamn head.
Yeah,
and killed the cop who didn't kill him. I'm saving you from more mistakes. Okay, but with Bane, when we first see him, he's not this over the top scientific fucking experiment either.
He's just a man.
He's just a regular guy, but he's the most dangerous guy Batman will ever face.
Yeah.
Because he's not dumb. He's super fucking strong and can kick the shit out of him no problem. That's what's crazy about
he is the personification of come at me, bro.
Yeah. Because he literally does it. He's he puts his arms out. Come on. Get some. Get some. He's Roddy Piper from They Live.
Yeah.
Put the fucking glasses on. Or Tim, he's Jimmy from South Park. Put on the hat.
Oh my God.
Not this year. With his crutches. Timmy. I bet you could redub that with Timmy and Jimmy fighting, and just Catwoman, because she lured him there, and it's this Catwoman being like, Cripple fat! Cripple fat!
Was it just me, or did it seem like in Catwoman's kind of subplot, they were kind of trying to build up that Poison Ivy was her friend? Like, they never, because I was paying attention, they never gave her friend a name.
Yeah, the little blonde girl.
Yeah, but it was kind of alluded to, like, she could be one of the crew, maybe.
Yeah, she could have been like one of the rogues, one of the female ones. I think if Christopher Nolan had more time, because this is a very long movie too, they could have been like,
if I just had some more time in this 3-hour movie.
I'm just saying.
if they said, hey, do you want to do a part 4? And he's like, leave me the fuck alone.
I have done enough.
Jesus Christ, I'm so tired.
Well, for what you're saying, after the last one, he was like, I'm done.
Yeah, well, he told him, he's like, this third one's going to be a cap. A cap, cap on the series. We're done. This is gonna be a perfect trilogy. No cap.
This is a cap, no cap.
This movie's gonna be busting. All right,
It's lit.
it's lit. Whatever the kids say.
It's gonna be lit.
And they're like, "Oh, hamburgers! We're gonna have to figure out another way." And then they made the Robert Pattinson one, which is fun in its own right. I remember when they made Black Woman. What's her name? Zoe Bell. Who played Catwoman in the newest one? Lenny Kravitz's daughter, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's Lenny Kravitz's daughter. They got so goddamn mad it was a black woman. I was like, shut the fuck up. Halle Berry did it.
Yeah.
That movie's terrible. That movie's terrible.
looked fine.
But she looked fantastic.
So like, she looked great.
Well, I mean, does nobody remember that Eartha Kitt was the original Catwoman?
Yeah, she was one of the originals, yeah. Yeah.
Nobody's complaining.
Yeah, black and white. But,
Michael Jackson song, whatever.
yeah, whatever. Just moonwalk away from that. But with this one, it is the over-the-top, let's destroy Gotham. But it's not like the little part of Gotham that, Scarecrow was doing. This was the whole goddamn place.
All of Gotham.
And what I like about this is we get an idea of what Gotham is, like, as citywide, like how big Gotham is. It's not like, oh, it's part of Metropolis, which was the whole rumor, like in comic, like Gotham is just like Metropolis, like the dark side.
Yeah. The Tuckasegee of
Yeah,
Metropolis.
the sun never rises on this part of the city. But Superman's like, I brought the sun, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah. Which is another great reason not to add these super characters in the Christopher Nolan universe, because everything that Batman deals with could have been done in like 2 seconds with Superman.
It's like with Batman. Yeah, Batman is all just here's something in the way. Then Batman sweeps in. Hey, everybody, how's it going?
Superman shows up like, hey, did you? This guy almost murdered that dude. Why were you sitting here scowling? Like,
why are you brooding?
Yeah. Why did you beat the dog shit out of this guy?
What are you staring at? Nothing. Right. I'm staring at that woman getting mugged right now.
You're just sitting here waiting. And Flash has already been like, hey, dude, I saved like 4 other women being mugged.
Bro, what are you waiting on?
I went back in time and got a hoagie.
I'm waiting on a clown.
Yeah.
Right. All right, cool. We're going to go back over here, buddy.
What I love, that's one thing I loved about DC is sometimes they would switch villains and it'd be the most fucked up thing they could
Let
ever.
me know if you see a scarecrow.
But like when they switch villains in the comics, Superman just beat the dog shit out of Superman's villains. Lex Luthor did something, Bruce Wayne shows up and just punches him in the face and buys his company. And just kicks him some more. And that's it. That's how you beat Lex Luthor, with money. You don't need to be super alien. You just need to kick the shit out of him with a sack of money. That's his weakness. Another rich person. All right? But if you got Bane, a super strong asshole, Superman could have been like, I'm going to flick you in the fucking chest and stop your heart. Like, yep. I'm going to spit at you. I'm going to spit on you and kill a mugger with my spit. Just imagine Henry Cavill going, and then the guy's like, and his neck's gone. Like, just gone. Like, this full Kennedy, peak missed.
Cristy sitting here going, like, I can imagine him spitting.
No.
That's what the Zack Snyder thing got right, is how dangerous he fucking was, because he just shows up and beats the fuck out of Wonder Woman and Batman and Cyborg and Aquaman, and everybody's just like, yeah, that's exactly what would happen. A superpowered asshole would beat the dog shit out of it. That's why Jason Momoa's famous line from Zack Snyder's fucking movie is, oh shit, when he sees Superman. Fuck!
Pet cemetery.
Because that's what he's fucking saying. But with this one, it's more grounded. It is. But Bane, the elaborate part of this was, first they destroy Bruce Wayne's money. Because that's what gets him out of hiding. because Michael Caine's like, no, this guy came from here. And then we get the climactic scene, which I will say is a super climactic scene for an Act 2. He fights Batman and breaks his back.
Yeah.
Comic accurately snaps his back. He's done.
Brutal fight too, like the
Yes.
sound mixing.
Yes.
Like the punches sound felt real. Like
Well, it
you're
matches-
listening to it, being like, "Oof."
There's a guy who I saw online matches. He's like, if you watch the scene opening, there's water coming down and it breaks every so often while they're talking. When those breaks hit, that's when he's punching them. It's like he's timing his punches for Batman to come at him with all he's got. Use all your bullshit, I don't care. And he's timing those breaks for the water, and it was love tapping him. And the way he picks him up is the only part that doesn't look really believable because it's wires. But it is a full throw in the air, like throwing a child and just like snapping his fucking back.
Yeah.
Brutal as fuck. And then decides to put him
And
in
then
that.
crushes his helmet.
Yeah. Oh, he's just pounding it. And then he's doing the elbow, fist, elbow, and just like you hear the crunch. And it's that crunch you say, that's kind of the same crunch you hear in Leatherface when he cracks that boy with that hammer.
Yep. That thud.
And it's like, God damn. It's just like, that's.
And that's
That's
what we were
crack-
just talking about. Like
Yeah.
the sound mixing and that whole
Yeah.
scene was great. Which I do have to give them credit for the sound mixing on that, because otherwise Nolan movies suck when it comes to his sound mixing. Dialogue that's all the way down here. Yeah, it's like, stop with that shit. Oh my fucking, every Nolan movie is the exact same when it comes to that.
And going off of that, so Catwoman sees this happen and she's not sure what she saw.
oh fuck,
Yeah, so and she got out with the getting's good. That's smart.
I set this motherfucker up.
Yeah, you're a piece of shit. But she ends up talking to Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character. I'll just refer to her as Robin pretty much because they do at the end of the movie. Spoilers. Because he's like, where is he? She's like, is he alive? But no, he's asking him, is he alive? And she's like, I don't fucking know, dude. Like, I watched this dude take a fucking beating, and this guy's a legend. All right? This motherfucker is it. And what sucks is he's lulled into this situation because he meets Cotillard, the actress.
Yeah.
Maria Cotillard, the French woman, who's actually Ra's al Ghul's daughter. And she bails Bruce Wayne out of that financial trouble, but she's lulling him in. And they end up together.
Yep.
And that's comic book out. That's Talia al Ghul. That's the mother of Damian Wayne in the comics. That's the third Robin. And it's like, holy shit. Well, that's a pull. You know, that's mixing the old and the new in a very good way.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Dark Knight, where the Joker is ambiguous instead of this guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Who went nuts. No, the Joker is ambiguous. We brought back the Scarecrow. You know, he still plays a part of it. There's like just thugs that he's fighting. You know, it's still a Batman movie.
Yeah.
And he did the same with this one. The thugs, however, are being led by the most dangerous motherfucker in the room. Tom Hardy. And I will go say,
feel like you're in charge?
the threatening he did is over the top.
Yes.
It made you feel like you do not want to be in a room with this fucking man. And the way he built up his body, like Christian Bale, you know, stayed fit. And Christian Bale's known for gaining weight, losing weight for a role. Tom Hardy did the bodybuilder, not the physique, but like weight training. So like he's really big in the midsection, and he's dropping his center of gravity because the guy's center of gravity is up top. So he drops it all into here, and he's building mass. So when he's fighting somebody, that's actual like how a big guy would look when he's beating your ass. He's not going to look like Arnold. He's going to look like the Mountain from Game of Thrones, a large dude who's just going to kick the shit out of you, who lifts fucking 500 pounds and don't give a fuck. And that's what I liked about that. He looked reasonable enough to lay his hands on somebody who's got like protective gear on and still kick the shit out of him. That was the cool thing about Bane. He didn't need some super powered fucking Venom or whatever.
Yeah.
This is how you make it down to earth. He's just building his body up enough to take hits.
Yeah.
That's the way this villain should have been if you're going to do a down to earth version. It is fantastic.
Then Bruce Wayne gets carried off to that same prison in which he hears about the tale of the child and getting out of the pit.
And I love this because there's like, it's a whole different just a whole different scenery, whole different world you're watching. And you see, one of the things is you hear the chanting. They're chanting, and it's a guy trying to get out. And they've set up a way for you to get out, but you have to earn your right to get out physically. Mm-hmm. And you see the guy fall, and you hear the bone snap on his back because he's got it tied around his waist. And Bruce Wayne the whole time is recovering from a broken spinal column, which isn't fucking easy. But within that time, we get a timeline going of Gotham going to shit because of Bane.
And the first thing he did was stop by that football arena, which I remember when they were shooting that. I remember that being like on the news and everything.
That was Steelers Stadium.
Yep.
Because the Gotham Knights have the same color scheme as the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the football player, the receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers is the guy running the ball.
Oh, yeah.
It's the guy that always smiles. He won 2 Super Bowls with them. I forget his name. Fantastic player. Yeah. Most ruthless motherfucker on the field, too. He'll smile at you.
Deserving of the spot.
Yeah, like he'll smile at you while he hits the shit out of you. He don't give a fuck. But no, fantastic scene where he's just running the ball and this like the whole fucking
People of Gotham.
And he brings them out and tells them the plan.
Yep.
And the government can't do shit. And what's cool is what we're seeing, those bridge explosions, those CG, that's Pittsburgh. That's downtown Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh is the city of bridges. And he's blowing up every goddamn bridge. He's like, you come even fucking close, I'll pull the fucking trigger.
Listen, I love that whole scene, though, because it's like, they take control of Wayne Enterprises. They get that little, nuclear bomb thing or that thing that the hydrogen
the bomb. It's a nuclear
that they're able to swap it over and make it a bomb because of the doctor that they fake killed at the very beginning of the movie.
Pavel, yeah.
And then they bring him out and he's just like, tell him what this is. It's like, it's a bomb. He's like, yes. How do you disarm it? He goes, I only know the code. He goes, that's interesting. Thank you very much. Your services are done. Snap. Now, people of Gotham, listen the fuck up.
I just killed the only person that knows how to turn this thing off.
So, you've got some time. Go wild. Have some fun.
Yeah. But he's
because you're about to fucking die.
He's letting the criminals loose.
Yeah.
Because one thing he did was after he got rid of Batman, they realized, he's been walking in the tunnel. He's been doing the tunnels. So all the police go into the tunnels and get trapped.
And they don't realize it till like right before. And again, beautiful scene because it's all in tandem. It's when the Robin character finds out that explosives are being...
Yeah, it's all a trap.
Yep. Well, he sees the explosives are being mixed in with the cement because that one guy was blocking the road when he was trying to get him to move. And he's like calling it in. He's like, there's explosives mixed in with the cement. Get them out of the tunnels. Get them out of the tunnels. And then you is with the, oh, say can... in the background. It's so well done.
Yeah.
And then even Bane just being like, what a lovely voice. Even him taking a moment just being like, this is the last bit of peace this city is going to see.
Ever.
Not only did he get rid of the cops, the people that are in the fucking high dollar booth of the football stadium are immediately killed.
Immediately.
Explosion. Boom. So now you've destroyed not only the security of Gotham, the police, the leadership of Gotham is gone. So now...
they're in those fucking skyboxes.
But that's a clean slate wipe of authority. It's Hines Ward that runs the ball. That's his name. But yeah, so all this is happening, and guess what? Bruce Wayne's watching it.
Yeah,
that's the biggest
fuzzy TV.
That's the biggest fuck you I saw the whole fucking time. Is just like your city's about to burn to death, and the guy's just like whose job was to take care of Bruce Wayne because he's told him he's like, I'm supposed to do this because Bane told me to.
Yeah,
he wants
you can even tell that he's even like, bro, I'm sorry, but like.
I'm gonna have to.
The big man gave me some instruction.
And he's like, hey, he told me to do this, and he like cracks his back to like straighten it. He's like, no, he wanted me to fix you. He wants you in tip-top shape because he doesn't think you're going to get out of here. Yep. And I like how he's building himself back up. And the guy's just like, you're not getting out of here, guys. Like, look at some of these guys. They've been training the whole fucking life to get out of here. Tim just broke his fucking back. He deserves to be down.
Bruce.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen.
Sure, Jan.
But we start
you
seeing,
may be a bat, but you can't fly.
But we start seeing the degradation.
And the Superman flies like, hey, everybody.
Talk about what it is.
You remember the one animated episode where Superman puts on the Batman uniform and fights all the villains, and Bane's just like, I got him. And he's just like, okay. bring it, motherfucker. And he just starts cold cocking him in the face, and everybody's just like, what the fuck is happening? Like, he's not being like, in the dark, in the shadow. It's daytime, and he's kicking the shit out of us.
Hey, everybody, it's Batman.
Hi, I'm Batman. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Batman. Because Superman would have a weird accent because he's from Kansas.
Yes.
Okay. He would have a country accent. All right.
Hey, y'all, I'm Superman.
That's the biggest problem I have with Clark Kent.
I'm Superman, y'all.
And I would say Clark Kent is supposed to be the weaker man. At no time he could have been like Lois just dog shit talking to him. Hey, small town, what are you fucking doing? You glasses wearing fuck.
Well, lady, I work at the Daily Planet, and it puts the bread on the table.
All right, you stupid hick. At any time he could have been like, hey, Lois, in his X-ray vision, you have cancer. Good luck. It's just like, and he kept doing it and just giving her radiation poison.
Stupid bitch.
Put some fucking radiation material on her fucking desk. I'm like, I hope you die, bitch. He shouldn't like her. She's an asshole. But Batman Returns.
Yes.
And not
the Dark Knight Returns.
Dark Knight Returns. Not like the Batman. And like not like Michael Keaton.
And well, you kind of find out it's kind of this ongoing theme in the movie, which is almost just trusting yourself to a point, because he found out that what was kind of hindering them getting out of the hole was the rope. It was the security of the rope, knowing that it was going to break your fall, is what was preventing you from being so in tune with the situation.
Yeah, so
and as soon as he took that rope off and he knew that there was nothing separating him from that and the fucking ground splattering his brains all over the place, all of a sudden you kind of snap to a little bit more and you grab a little stronger.
Yeah.
Grab a little harder.
And now he's free. I love how they don't show what he did after that.
Yeah, he just leaves the rope down.
Leave it ambiguous. That's perfect. And what I love is the time from the bomb or the bombs going off to the time Batman returned, a full season has changed.
Yep.
This is a full almost 3 months, and Gotham has gone to shit.
And I actually kind of appreciated that, because I was kind of paying attention to that again on the rewatch and being like, how long was he there? Like, I know he was just there for a while, but how long did they really kind of make it seem? And yeah, I like the fact that they made it like a good few months, because I'm like, if motherfucker got out of there in like 2 weeks.
Well, you can imagine how long it's been. I say 3 months. I say 3 months because
I agree with that though.
Because what are they doing when Bane shows up? It's opening kickoff of football, which is late September. By the time it snows, it's probably mid-Christmas, mid-December, January, when the winter really hits up north. So it's a nor'easter that's probably going through.
Yeah, so yeah, I would agree.
I would say 3 to 4 months. Yeah. But I love his opener. And this whole time, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Robin, has been leading this resistance.
Yes.
With the orphan kids, because that's where he's from, which I thought was really well done. And he was an orphan who became a representative of the law. And later on, he'll probably carry on that, but it's ambiguous because we'll never get another movie. But it's still kind of the same path, but he didn't have Batman from a child era. But it's just like, no, I was an orphan. Bruce Wayne paid for this orphanage. And, something got lost in the middle. And
you can kind of tell that in the middle of the movie when he's talking to Bruce, he kind of knows he's Batman. Like, he kind of calls him on that shit, being like, look, I'm not going to say nothing, but I know you're Batman. Like, stop with the bullshit. I'm trying to talk to the person in charge here.
And what I like, we get Lucius Fox peppered in here and there, and he talks about a flying machine. Basically,
a flying machine.
Yeah, it's not an airplane. It's not a jet either. It's a weird hovercraft, and it's like another Bat Tech thing.
Does it come in black?
Yeah, it doesn't come. That's all he gives a shit about. But with Bruce Wayne being gone for so long, he sneaks his way back into Gotham, because that was the contingent of Bane's. No one enters, no one leaves, and the U.S. government complies because they have to, because there's a nuclear weapon. And you see them taking pop shots at people on the bridge. Like, no, fucking stop. Because when the...
Death or exile.
Yeah. And,
death by exile.
Yeah. And one of the coolest scenes in the movie, I was going to say show, but the coolest scene in the movie is Scarecrow has created this kangaroo court.
Yes. That's my favorite
Cillian
thing.
Murphy has created a kangaroo court.
Cillian Murphy is everything in this movie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I forgot how much I loved his cameo.
If you watch the movie and slow it down, he has built an altar not a pulpit, but like an altar to law on the books and like rubble of the courtroom, and you hear all these,
and he is just lording over them.
Yes.
he is king of the mountain, all right, and he looks down. Like, I love how like a judge just sits behind the dais, he's over it,
Yeah.
and like just imposing himself to make himself look bigger. And that's what the Scarecrow would do. Just
Yes.
be a fucking madman lunatic. And he sentences people who were rich, who made money off the suffering of others. And he's like, I sentence you to a night of the cold sweat. And he makes them walk the river of Gotham that's frozen until it cracks open and they get swallowed up.
Yep.
What the fuck? That is elaborate.
And I did hear that Nolan was saying that he wanted to have some Joker scenes within all that. I can't help but think that would have been the Joker's cameo. That almost feels like something that he would have done as well.
Probably, yeah.
I think Cillian Murphy did fit though.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was still a perfect role. I'm not sitting here going like, oh, it would have been better as, but like just through the lens of if he had not died, the actor's
Heath
name.
Ledger.
If Heath Ledger had not died,
Well,
that potentially could have been his
the
scene.
big change they made in that movie was the original story. They were going to release Arkham inmates, but they couldn't because that would explain the Joker being there. So they said Blackgate Prison, which is inside the city. Arkham is a off the beaten path.
Yeah.
That's the special place.
Gotham is here. Arkham is way the fuck over here. Bruce's mansion is way the fuck over here. Blackgate, though, there's some of the thugs. That's where they go.
It's like downtown.
It's like downtown.
Yeah, yeah.
And who all is in Blackgate that we always hear? Black Mask, other characters.
The heavier hit, not the heavy hit, not
But
the
like
psycho
the
hitters,
henchmen.
but the
henchmen go there.
there we go.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of like the muscle.
Yeah. But they cracked that motherfucker open. And so all the motherfuckers are loose. So that's one of the contingents that Batman has to deal with. But the plan is Batman's back. We need to get all these cops that Robin's been helping the whole time. Robin's been helping them, secretly giving them food, directions, and planning on how to escape and take care of these motherfuckers. And then we get the weirdest showdown because what's his name is in it, who plays the police chief. Not Gordon, but it's not Cary Ells. It's the guy that looks like Cary Ells, but it's not Cary Ells. Anyway, it's him. He's the police chief, and he boot and rallies because he's the one who refused to stop the guys in the Wall Street.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
he's like, I don't
yeah.
give a fuck about that money. And it's like, no, asshole, this is everybody's goddamn money, you piece of shit.
My money's under my mattress.
Yeah, so he's the guy. Chrissy's looking up. But Matthew Modine. Matthew Modine is in it. And he's the dumbass cop, pretty much, because he doesn't listen to Gordon at all. Because he's taking Gordon's place, because Gordon doesn't need to be commissioner anymore.
Yep. And Bane reads his note on live TV saying how Harvey Dent was actually the murderer and that Batman did no wrong.
And another thing, a big reveal is Michael Caine gives Bruce Wayne Rachel's note about leaving him for Harvey Dent. And that...
Sorry, Master Wayne.
He's like, that's kind of a betrayal for him that he feels from Alfred, which is kind of fucking dumb, I think. I think this guy's been right beside you, riding and dying this whole fucking time. And probably he's more dangerous than you. Maybe you should just shut the fuck up. All right,
if you got a brain in your skull.
You've been fighting thugs in Gotham. This motherfucker was in Burma hunting jewel thieves and shit and killing Osama bin Laden. So, like, I don't really want to hear your fucking bullshit. This dude decapitated the real Saddam. Okay, I don't want to hear your fucking bullshit, all right? He killed Castro. Okay, he killed Kennedy. But just out in the open, probably taking a piss in a bathroom somewhere. Like, I just pulled a pistol. Pow, I shot that motherfucker. I don't give a shit. I'm Alfred. Wu-Tang. I founded the Wu-Tang Clan. He founded the Wu-Tang Clan. Killed Kennedy.
God damn it.
He's the real ODB. He's the old dirty bastard they were talking about. And so, but we find out that Robin, quote, has been running this secret underground thing with all the kids. And they're used that to kind of narrow down Bane's plan of keep the bomb moving. We never really know.
Yep.
And it's smart because it prevents any government interference.
Yep.
And if the police ever get involved, or local forces, it would be impossible. And there's a kill switch involved, which I love.
Always.
Always. It's a James Bond-esque villain. This is what I love about it. It's so over the top, but dumb as fuck to let the fucking hero make it to the city. Like, just 86 this motherfucker. Shoot him in the back of the head. There was no reason to keep Bruce.
Suffer.
Yeah, there's no reason he, like...
Mawson, he has to suffer. He has
if
to
Heath Ledger's character was alive, he'd been like, shoot the bat in the fucking brain. He's going to beat the shit out of you, eventually.
All I could see was when Heath Ledger gets him in Dark Knight, and he starts skipping over there with that knife in his hand. And then Gordon gets him in the back and goes, could you please just give me a minute?
But it's like, that's what I like about the animated series. Like, oh, we got the Batman, and they're just like, let's just kill him. Or Joker's like, fucking kill him. Just fuck. No, we got to see what it. No, you don't. That ruins the joke. Let's just murder him. We'll find out later. But I love the Harley Quinn series version where they reveal, and Joker's like, what? It's Bruce Wayne? Where's my Wayne Tech car, you piece of shit?
I pre-ordered one of those like 5 years ago.
Yeah, like he's a Tesla. Like, where's my fucking Tesla, you piece of shit? This is lame. I hate this. I hate Gotham. Hate this place.
Speaking of first world problems.
Yeah. But we get the showdown with the police and the thugs, which I love.
That was a good one.
And Batman in daylight, which
emerges.
It's kind of weird seeing him in the day. I've never heard anybody say otherwise, but seeing Batman in full costume in the daylight fighting a dude is fucking weird.
Yeah, it is.
It needs to be nighttime, maybe a crescent moon, foggy, some steam coming out of the fucking sewer grates for him to beat the shit out of.
This is why Tim Burton did such an amazing job.
Tim Burton do it because he's a fucking cartoon. If Helen Bonham Carter was still there, you'd have somebody fuck her in that movie. It's almost as good as Batman Forever. He only comes out at night. The whole movie, the sun never rises on Gotham. The whole goddamn movie. That's what's the best Batman movie. The sun never rises on Batman Forever.
I do love that scene that you're talking about, though, where he emerges out from all those goons, because Bane has like this look on his face like, you son of a bitch. Like, okay, fine, but goddamn, boy.
So we're getting this gangland fight, basically, that kind of goes over the top in the courthouse, basically. That's where they're fighting. They fight their way into the courthouse.
He is just wailing on this motherfucker.
And this bitch sneaks up on his ass and shanks him. And I'm like, this fucking cunt. Shanked my boy.
You fucked him earlier. Now you're shanking him.
And she gets away. But this whole time, we're getting the scene of the cops and the gangsters fighting, and the thugs fighting, and Catwoman stealing the bat bike, basically, gunning it to the fucking courthouse, and Bane is doing his exposition dialogue like any.
Well, no, so this is what happened on it, because this is what I wound up loving about the movie. So she shanks the motherfucker. He turns around and he's just like, I love that the acting on his face. He's just like, the fuck. But this is when you get this is when you get the reveal of the story that the child was her. And that the protector was Bane. The one that helped her get out of the pit was the one that was Bane. She is the descendant of Ra's al Ghul. She is the true thing. She has been the one pulling all the strings. He is the henchman. I am the villain. He's done a good job. I'm taking over now. When I saw that the first time, I was like, oh shit, oh fuck.
Nobody knew.
That's a great reveal.
It was like that. That blew my ass backward the first time I saw. I was just like, oh fuck, oh shit, what the fuck is gonna happen now? And it's like Bruce and I had like that same face of just like, oh.
I would have loved like a flashback scene of this Alfred consoling Batman after Rachel died and been like, Bruce, my biggest thing I've never taught you was bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. And it's just like, That would have been a cutaway scene.
Master Wayne, this reminds me of a lyric I wrote for some dear friends of mine.
When I was a warrior poet in South LA in 1992, I set the fires in the LA riots. It was me. I kicked Rodney King's ass and killed Nicole Brown Simpson and burnt LA to the ground. It was me. Alfred Pennyworth.
Minister was me.
I had to come to Gotham where it was safer than South Central LA in the 90s.
Your father was a great man.
Yeah. I killed Harvey Milk too. I don't give a shit. I made the Oakland A's lose. I'm a plague on California. That's Alfred's story. He's the plague of California, and he came to Gotham, New York City.
Yep.
So then she winds up getting away.
Yep.
And then that's when Bane starts standing because he's fixing his little thing, and he's just like, "All right, bitch, now you
Well, he
really
found out.
know."
Like, Batman found out like if that right there is keeping him alive.
Yeah.
His mask, because apparently he has like some disfigurement where he can't breathe. But going back to a discussion we had last weekend, guns. Batman has guns. Batman has guns on motorcycles. Batman has guns all the time because Batman needs a fucking gun. Mm-hmm. And what does Catwoman do? Uses the Bat gun to kill the Batman villain because Batman uses guns.
And she does. She blows that motherfucker away.
Oh God! It's just like I don't use guns. It's like Catwoman does. Catwoman don't
saved your ass.
Fuck, she keeps that motherfucking thing on her. Okay. You know why? Because she steals shit for a fucking living. If Bruce Wayne had put his fucking hands up on Catwoman in the beginning of the movie, she probably would have plugged him in the fucking in the stomach, bop, and it's like, oh god, you little cunt. I'm Batman, and just started whooping her ass. I'm Batman. Kicking her with a stick.
Wow, Mama's domestic abuse Batman.
All day, son. All day.
Give me my bat beer, bitch.
He's like, I'm all about feminism, and he starts beating the shit out of her.
Equal rights, equal fights.
Throws her out the window.
I can take it, so can she.
Right after the hose and tricks.
Alfred
was right.
Alfred taught me this one.
And just the comic elbow.
But yeah, so old girl gets away. They're trying to find the bomb. They eventually crash the car, and she's just like, "It's too fucking late now. You can kill me all you want, bitch. It's still gonna fucking explode.
Yeah, she
still won."
Yeah, she gets lit up, and she dies slow.
Yep.
And so we get this it felt to me anticlimactic because you knew what was going to happen. Gotham was going to be saved no matter what. The climactic part was you didn't know what happened to Bruce. That's what was fucked up. And so he flies the bomb out of the city.
And right before he flies it out, great scene with that too. Like, for some reason, I am big time Marvel. I have been a Marvel kid my entire life. Batman is my one exception. Batman I love from DC stuff. For some reason, from the moment Batman gets in that cockpit to the end of the movie, does not matter if we put it on tonight, I'm going to be sitting there with a lump in my throat because the way he told Gordon, because he was just like, look, if you're going to do this, I never found out who you were. And he was just like, you know who I am. You gave a little boy strength when no one else could, this, that, and the other, blah, blah. And you see the memory of young Bruce. Like he's thinking of it, and he's just like, as it like flies away. So it's just like perfect. Yeah, basically. And it's like, that was a perfect
See you later, bye.
Yeah. So it's like, that was a perfect little goodbye moment. And then it's like, the boom. And then the whole shit with Alfred. I've talked about this on the show. Oh my fucking God.
Because he failed.
Yes. But the actor's name, I forget.
Michael Caine.
It's like Michael Caine as an actor. He could tell me anything, and I could start sobbing.
Oh, you love him in Goldmember.
Holy shit! When he's sitting there looking at the gravesite, and it's like at first you see it's like just Bruce's, and then the camera pans and it's like Martha and Thomas right next to it.
Yeah,
and he starts going up. He's like, "And I failed you, as Master Wayne." It's just like, oh my God! It's seeing him. It's not the situation. It's seeing that actor.
That's literally a popular GIF
good
online.
He is.
Him crying is literally a popular GIF online of like, hear the sad story. That's a reply. It's just like him crying.
Yeah, and it's just he is just that good of an actor that
Yes.
like you can watch it and get lost in it, and you're like, I feel you did fail, Master Wayne. God damn you, Alfred.
And we get like 3 different epilogues. One is we find out that Lucius Fox never put in a tracking system, an escape system, an autopilot escape system in the Batwing. That's what I'm gonna call it.
Because that was the big thing. He's just like, well, what if I just autopiloted this thing out there? And he's just like, ain't got autopilot, bud. And he's just like, all right, fine, I'll just raw dog this bitch then.
Yeah, and we find out he put one in it.
Yep. Under the name Lucius Fox.
Yeah, we get that Bruce Wayne gave away a lot of his effects and his property to Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who found out his middle name or nickname is Robin, because he never goes by that name. And the lady says it, that's a nice name, you should go by that more. But another thing is, Wayne Manor got burnt down in this movie. So when he goes into it, he finds the Batcave, and it rises from the ground. Fucking fantastic job on that. And this is the heartfelt moment. The third epilogue is Michael Caine, who goes overseas somewhere and sees a woman who looks like the thieving bitch
Master Wayne
that strolled in there like some trollop and stole, because like another ending would be like he sees her with another dude and just grabs her and starts kicking her ass and rips that shit off her fucking neck.
Yeah, because she's wearing the fucking necklace too. Which again, I clocked that one too, and I'm like, hold the fucking phone. No, one, she stole supposedly his mom's intact fucking necklace. 2, now he's allowing her to wear the fucking thing. I call some shenanigans. This cannot be the fucking the necklace. That his mom must have had 3 or 4 in the collection, and he grabbed one during the estate sale or some shit. Like,
But we see her, like the camera pan and like the little movement, and we see Bruce Wayne. In full regalia, and he's just like,
and part of the reason that also really worked too is right before that everything really started kicking off in the movie, Alfred told me, he's just like, I always had a vision, you know, one day you would just leave this city, you would leave all this Batman stuff behind, I would take my yearly vacation to, you know, Venice or whatever the fuck, and I would see you at a table across the way with a beautiful girl, and we would lock eyes and nod, and we wouldn't say anything, but I would know that you are okay. And then he got that.
Yeah.
And that's that second thing. That's why I said the whole ending of that movie just has me in that emotional roller coaster. Because this is like, yes, the old man finally got his little wish too. Yes.
And so in this one, with that epilogue, that means they've killed Bruce Wayne, and automatically Batman is assumed dead because he saved Gotham. So the whole thing is we've killed the character, both of them, and it's a finite trilogy. That was the best thing they could have done, because there's no reason to bring him back, because now if they were to do it, if they were to pick up that universe storyline, if somebody, like they brought in another director, Joseph Gordon-Levitt wouldn't be Robin. He'd be like Nightwing or something. And they would have just taken out the Robin story. It'd be his name. But he would have took on the name of Nightwing. Maybe Alfred would have came back and like checked up on everything, never mentioning he's alive.
Well, who knows? Maybe Christian Bale comes back and we finally get your Batman Beyond movie.
Oh, that would be fantastic. But I would love Michael Keaton to do that instead.
Yeah, but they're already doing Keaton with so many things. Imagine if, like, because Bale was already playing that decrepit old Batman in this one. Throw some more prosthetics on him, let him grow his beard out. I mean, he's method actor as fuck. He could get in that old mind
I think
frame.
that would have been fantastic for the Batman if they had done it with Robert Pattinson as Terry McGinnis. I think that would have been so fantastic. But WB,
that would have been cool.
WB's really good at spending a shit ton of money making a movie and then throwing it in the fucking shredder for tax purposes.
Batgirl.
So, yeah, fuck it. And Batman Beyond, an animated, like, Into the Spider-Verse movie, let's just throw that in the garbage too.
And I want to ask this because I feel like I'm going crazy, and this has to be one of those Mandela effect things. A couple years ago, I checked my Blu-ray. I've looked online. I can't find anything to support this, but I swear to God, I'm not fucking crazy in this regard. Maybe other things, but not in this one. I swear there was a post-credit scene.
What was it?
So, the Gordon-Levitt guy, Robin, the scene we see in the movie is him traversing the Batcave. He steps up on that platform and kind of uses it as a wipe to close out the screen. Mm-hmm. Black screen, then you get the credits. I swear, at the end of the movie, it cut back to him being on the platform. Another platform raises up, and it's the bat suit. And he kind of looks at it. He's just like, just kind of like, just for a beat, just kind of like looks at it. And then a second one raises up, and it looks just like that suit, but without a mask, or like a cowl mask, but with just like an eye band. And he kind of looks at it and he goes, "There's no way," and walks away. I swear I remember that. But I cannot find that clip online. It's like I see it as clear as day, and it was like all of maybe 7 seconds. Like it wasn't like this drawn out thing of like, oh, there's going to be a sequel, but almost just that little wink of like, of course Batman would have had a second suit for something. But he looked, because again, he put the autopilot in. He apparently did all the stuff behind the scenes. He knew about the Gordon-Levitt guy. He knew he was already doing stuff.
I had this same problem in Rogue One.
I remember that, though. I was with you.
Yeah, so we went to sell that movie, and we see Darth Vader in full regalia with no prosthetics and his beat-up-ass body, putting that shit on in Rogue One. Never seen it again. Yeah. Most likely, it could have been a theater thing,
maybe.
Theater only. If it is, fuck you. but
like I said, yes, because they definitely didn't play it like, oh, watch out for the next movie. We're about to do a Robin movie. It was genuinely played as like that
an epilogue.
Yeah, the epilogue, and like, you know what? If you stuck around to the very end, we're gonna throw a little joke. It was almost played as a joke, not being serious, but just like, oh wow, there's a bat suit. Huh, second bat. There's no way. Yeah. And it just walks away from it. It's like, But yeah, that has been in my opinion, the best Batman trilogy. Sorry, Cristy. I know you probably don't agree with that.
No, I love the movies because Dark Knight is my favorite of that trilogy.
Really? Yeah.
But I'm sorry, but the original Batman is my absolute favorite. But that's
because he kills.
That's Jack Nicholson. I mean,
he kills people in that movie.
Well, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but one of the things Chris and I were discussing is we've got Blu-ray copies of Batman Forever and Batman and Robin.
Baby!
It was an amazing soundtrack.
Batman
let's not kid ourselves.
Fucks in that movie.
So I'm thinking,
and it's Nicole Kidman. Good for her. Good on her. It's not that bitch Kim Basinger either.
So I'm thinking, as a nice little change from all the Marvel content we've been doing over the last year or so, bring back some of the movie commentaries, and we crack open some Twisted Tea or some hard ciders and get a little stony and watch some ridiculous Batman movies.
Or what's his name? Adrian Sands movie before he died.
That got delivered today.
Woo!
That is waiting in my
It's
mailbox.
going to be terrible.
And I can't fucking wait.
Julian Sands, that's what it is.
And Cristy, of course, thank you as always for joining us and having fun with us all day today. It was an absolute blast being able to share in the nerdom.
And I loved every minute of it.
Honestly, it feels like the only people I get to like share super nerdy shit with is like Chris and Mikey and like David to a point, like the little group chat we have. But it's like outside of that, I don't have like any of the nerdy friends. So like to be able to feed off that energy today was just fucking awesome. But for this episode of the Couch Potatoes, and make sure to click that link in the episode description and get yourself some merch and sign up for the Discord. I don't put it in there for my health. Go do that shit and make sure and listen to the other shows on the network, like this fucking guy out every Friday, History of Forgot with Cristy Phillips and Chris Morrison, along with Triple C, the Cryptic Conspiracy Cult. And I keep swearing by it, but eventually I will start doing some episodes of Something Good For You with a special co-host that we've been hounding each other back and forth to do some stuff, and so hopefully we'll start doing that, and that would actually be really fun. It's a guy I've had as a friend for a good handful of years, and we've reconnected over the last few months, and he's just like, "Oh, you do podcasts?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do." He's just like, "Sweet, I want to do a show." I'm like, "I have a dormant show waiting on you." But for this episode of the Couch Potatoes, I've been Alex, and Chris, do you have any sort of final thoughts for us?
Fuck you, Dante.
You've been listening to the Something Good Network. If you liked what you heard, you can follow us on Instagram, and check out the other great shows on the network. Link is in the episode description.